Long COVID, did you have it? Ladies, let me show you what I am reading here. So with this journal article that came out in 2023, I think you're going to like this. And by like, I mean, I think you'll find it interesting. I don't think anybody likes COVID, just for the record. So this article spells out the long COVID symptoms and the impact on numerous organs with differing pathology. And the reason I said you were going to like this is a very validating infographic, okay? So the symptoms are in the pink and the pathology is in the blue. So with people that had long haul COVID and they have heart issues, they have chest pain and palpitations. This is from cardiac impairment, myocardial inflammation, and the beloved POTS that came onto the scene. We know that the long COVID symptoms with the lung would be the cough and the abnormal gas exchange that happens. Now, keep in mind, COVID is inflammatory. All this is inflammation. Inflammation is not fun. The immune system, you get autoimmune disorders, you get MCAS. The GI system can be affected with long COVID, with nausea and abdominal pain. They can have gut diabosis. There is a viral persistence that is within the gut. The neurological stuff, because of the brain, you can have cognitive impairment, fatigue, disorder of sleep, memory loss, tinnitus, which is ringing in the ears. And that could be from dysautonomia, ME, chronic fatigue syndrome, neuroinflammation, reduced cerebral blood flow, small fiber neuropathy. Don't forget your kidneys can hate you after long COVID. Your blood vessels can have inflammation. But my personal favorite as a women's health therapist is, what are the reproductive system symptoms that you can get from long COVID? Well, if you're a dude, erectile dysfunction, because guess what? The blood vessels get affected. There can be increased severity and number of premenstrual symptoms, irregular menstruation. So this article talks about a reduced sperm count. Now, we now also know that when long COVID hits, it affects your ovaries, because your ovaries have ACE2 receptors. So everybody who had all these crazy symptoms from long haul COVID, here you go. Yeah, I'm sorry. So this article continues to go on and say there are likely multiple potentially overlapping causes of long COVID. Several hypotheses exist for the pathology of this, and it has been suggested that, well, there are persisting reservoirs of SARS-CoV-2 in tissues. There is an immune dysregulation with or without reactivation of other underlying pathogens, such as other viruses like herpes, Epstein-Barr. So COVID, like I have always said, woke up the beast that was sleeping in your body. I like to think of it like the Little Mermaid, where Ursula stirs up all the ships from the bottom of the ocean. But we have lots of theories. We don't know 100% for sure. But this impact of COVID is priming for molecular mimicry. Yes, molecular mimicry. Now, when long haul COVID hits, there is disruption of your nervous system and you get dysautonomia. Now, in the nervous system, there is dysfunctional signaling in the brainstem and or vagus nerve. So all these things that you are seeing on TikTok about working on regulating your nervous system is really important for regulating your long haul COVID symptoms. You cannot go wrong with regulating your nervous system. My favorite line of this article is towards the end, and the mechanisms of overlap between long COVID, connective tissue involvement, mast cell, and inflammatory conditions such as endometriosis are particularly understudied and should be focused on. And that is my whole patient population. Hit the plus sign and follow for more women's health and wellness tips. Bye.